Good dog, and welcome back to the Norwegian campaign in Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, and it looks like we have an actual battle on our hands. Yeah, full-on American task force led by a battleship. So I'm a little bit outnumbered, but that's mostly because they're bringing all of these destroyers. So it shouldn't be too difficult, I think. It'll probably be quite easy. Let's go. All right. So, I'm gonna have my two battleships focus the enemy battleship. Simple enough. You will probably just make a mess of things if you follow the battleships, but we can try doing that. Do I want to have the Vikings do a like early torpedo launch? Maybe. Maybe. Light cruisers can follow battle cruisers. Yeah, now this is just making a mess of things. So the battle cruisers will not be following the battleships. They're going to instead be sailing in a line. Or a column. Like behind the battleships. Now we are spotting the enemy formation, and they're almost 60 kilometers away. The 18-inch guns on the American battleship do slightly outrange my own 16-inch guns, but not by that much. Well, the 15s are going to take a while before they're in range, though. And of course, I did try to slow these down, and yeah, it seems they are actually sticking to that reduced speed. Imagine that. They actually listened to my speed setting. Alright, my two battleships will focus the enemy battleship. Shrimply enough. And the Vikings are almost in range. I'm gonna have both of them, there we go, landing the first couple of flooding hits on, what is it, New York? Can both go home now. My two battle cruisers are... No, stop that. Stop that. See, my battleships did the thing where they switched their main guns to fire at the heavy cruiser while their secondary guns remained locked on the enemy battleship, which is not the way I want to do it. I want to have those main guns focusing that battleship. It is the biggest threat. Although it looks like the torpedoes are on course. We're gonna get a couple of hits here. One torpedo hit on New York. Gonna squeeze in between here, or are we gonna get do get one on the bow? see. Yeah, nice. That did help. We're not talking a whole lot of damage though on the battleship. It's mostly the 16-inch guns doing the damage, but there we go, and a flash fire. Maybe with the flash fire like in the background. Maybe that could be cool. Or just like this. The X turret. Going airborne. Not bad. Yeah, their turret armor does leave a little bit to be desired. Once the battleship is down, which it will be soon, I'm gonna switch the battleships to something else. There we go. Gungnir and Surtol can actually also focus the heavy cruiser. And we can set the secondaries to target the destroyers. Yeah, poor New York didn't get to do much. And now, as long as I can keep these destroyers at bay, shouldn't be too much of a problem. Actually, the cruisers are a bigger threat. They got longer range torpedoes and they are quite a bit faster than the enemy destroyers. Like 10 knots faster in the case of that heavy cruiser. Which has lost all of its main gun ammo. So I guess it's not that big of a threat anymore. Not with well, the torpedoes are only 19-inch. They don't have the greatest range. Let's see if I can score a couple more hits and then switch the battleships to fire at the light cruisers, and then the battle cruisers can switch to the destroyers. Everyone goes like one tier down. Not getting the biggest hits. Although a little bit of flooding here and a little bit of flooding there. There we go. That was a good one. And there goes Charleston. Right as I was changing targets, So it must have had some shells in the air. So it was perfect timing. What's the range of my 8-inch guns? 18, not bad. And the 15s are starting to score hits on the enemy destroyers. There you go, accidental hit on a DD. Not bad. One light cruiser down. And Cincinnati is also about to sink. Let's now just go for everything we can get before ending it. Every DD I sink now is one I don't have to like fight alone in one of those annoying little battles. And you have some that are intact. They're not really being as aggressive with the destroyers as they probably could be. I think it's because they're caught in one of those, like a loop, where the AI can't decide which ship is going to be the leader. So they just endlessly cycle. Secondaries, you can do some work now. Light cruisers don't have range yet. And we only have 3 left now. So 1 battleship and a battlecruiser for each of the now 2 remaining. And now only 1 remaining, so that makes things easy. And it only needs a little bit more flooding. And I think that's it. Maybe? There we go. Right. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. And this one. Yeah. Alright, gotta do that one too then. And it's now in range. It's taken some damage before. I don't know from what. But we're gonna see how long it takes before it sinks. There we go, already scoring some hits. And there we go, 10-inch guns from the heavy cruisers. Actually finishing it off. Nice. And we have a battle here. No, I don't want to do that. Why am I not getting you know, the support strike that I ordered? Fine, we can send we can send some battle cruisers into the Mediterranean. And hope they will generate those kind of missions. Just stay in port there. And meanwhile, this... Hang on, that's how many thousand tons? What's the biggest one? This one. Sure, we can send this one too. There we go. That should give me a good chance of a port strike mission. You guys can just head over to Scapa Flow. Stay in port there for a while. And you can send you to Kiel. Right. And that battle was one I did not want to do. Let's see what I do want to do. Move this here. And then we can initiate an invasion of, I'm thinking, Dutch New Guinea. But I don't have any ships there right now. That one is being commissioned. Alright. Let's see, this is gonna fail next turn for the US. I'm leaving a couple of battleships here, so it's not gonna be empty. Can I invade Britain? Fiji. Where's that? I'm not completely off my rocker by thinking Fiji is in this area, am I? Maybe I am. Or is it like all the way on this side of the... yeah, it's here. Hiding in the other side of the map border. We can do Vanuatu. Should be available. There we go. Takes very little tonnage, 6,000 tons. So that battlecruiser is heading here. We're leaving these two cruisers, so they can go over here. Alright. Now with that, let's see if the US launches another naval invasion somewhere after this one runs out. If they do, I will just take central Italy from them. Alright, let's see what is going on. Getting some repeatable technologies. We've taken Croatia. I've taken Western India. What do you have here? You have a battleship, 90,000 tons. You got 3 battleships. Suddenly. Where did they come from? Anyway, sending these down here to start working on Australia. Meanwhile, I feel ready to stop the war with the US. Let's see, what does France have left? They have 1 province somewhere. And they are at a level where they will just never recover, I think. Maybe. Their GDP is low, but not like 0. That's 283 billion. They can still build ships, but where is their last province, I wonder? Where is the last French province? I'm at peace with them now, so it's not like I'm looking to invade. I am just curious. And how can they have that kind of GDP with only one province when that province is probably kind of small? Because I've taken like most of the actual France. Well, Germany has taken some of it too, but yeah, they must have one tiny island somewhere. It's got to be one of the tiny ones in the Pacific, probably. Or maybe not. No, it does remain a mystery for now where the last French holdout is. No, here it is, of course. Reunion. Income 400 million. They've got. Wow. They got a whole bunch of ships here. Okay. Okay, France. Yeah, no, they do have a GDP of 283 billion. I'm not reading that wrong. But the income of this island is only 439 million. I don't know how that adds up. That is some weird math going on. Anyway, if they don't want peace, I can just try and sink their ships. Let's see, today we have a battle here. Cruiser on cruiser. We've done that before. And we have a convoy battle here. 5 destroyers versus 1 heavy cruiser. That's not a fight I want to take. These guys are just too fast and maneuverable. Also, they have a battle cruiser. Let's do the battle here and then just click next turn. Alright. 1-on-1. No pesky transports involved. I'm gonna do my usual tactic when facing one of these. Just opening with AP at long range and scoring some decent hits. They do outrange me, I think. Just a little bit. There we go. Getting some good hits in early is always nice. Means they're slowing down, becoming a little bit easier to hit. They're doing some maneuvering too. They're still faster than I am, though, even with that flooding. But this seems to be a pretty good range for me to fight it out at. They're down to 32 knots, so we are at the same speed. What's the first little milestone? Getting them down to my own speed or less than it. Which they now are, limited to 30.3. And there we go, their main tower is out. That and the damage sensibility they've taken, that is good to see. Great stuff. And we take the first little hit. It's not drastic though. It's pretty superficial. And there we go. One American heavy cruiser sunk. That is, I think, the best I've done in one of these 1v1s. Because these are not, like, super bad or anything. They are to be respected. Let's see, we are... Okay, yeah, we're a little bit over the shipbuilding capacity. A little bit. That's because I sent all of those ships in to be repaired. Some of them will be repaired for a long time. Which means... I'm sorry, but the new capital ships will have to be delayed for a little bit longer. Still over capacity. Well, let's see, we can mod. You can suspend your repair. And that's it. That took me down under. So most of this is going to be done in a month or so. There are a lot of very minor repairs. Like, where are they? Those huge French ones. I think I sent those to port too. Where are they? Yeah. Xielan repairing 1 month. Lee 1 month. So that's going to free you up almost 100,000 tons. Onwards to 1957. And we do get peace with the United States. Nice. Okay, I can get one of these. That's not the ones that I kind of liked. I can get a an Oklahoma class battlecruiser, which does not look too impressive. Yeah, no, I don't think I want to take your ships. I do want to take your islands, though. Lebanon, 14 billion. Oh, Formosa is expensive. Some of these provinces are actually really expensive. Leaves me with 11 billion. Let's take Lebanon. I didn't get to take that part of Turkey I wanted. That's not a very good like war operation. So I will take some of your ships because apparently I can't get any more out of you. Let's take these cruisers. They were not half bad. In fact, let's ditch that dumpy battleship. Take one more of those. So we're gonna get to do some refitting of these ships. They want to take their destroyers as well. I mean, they're not very good, but I can get at least 4 of them. Yeah, sure. So, some new provinces secured. And I got all the ships I wanted. That is 5 heavy cruisers, a battle cruiser, and 4 of these very cheap, I guess you could call them corvettes. Okay. Gain Sulawesi. And they're trying to invade me here. They do have some capital ships, actually. A battleship and a battle cruiser. I mean, fine. If that's how you want to play it. I can send these down here just to prevent that invasion from succeeding. I can send these out here. Let's fight that battleship. These two can just we can move them back to their port. Where do I want to have them? Pensacola? Sure. Let's have some control there too. Right. Western Australia. I want to take it. 20,000 tons. I thought that would require a lot more, but apparently not. Righty then. So, refits. Let's do Oklahoma first. And the nice thing about those cruisers is I got 5 of them. So it's not going to be like a one-off ship. It's going to be a full-on like class of ships. Oof, that is ugly. But I think we can make something work out of this. Alright. So we got 14.7-inch guns. That's not too bad. First things first, though. Let's get rid of these weird secondaries. Even this 8-inch gun. Do I want to take a different tower with a built-in barbette? I think I do. Well, the tower did have a built-in barbette, but it was the wrong kind. Let's move that forwards a bit. Modern secondary tower 3. That is the best one. Now, can I mount a another turret here, or will the game too far from previous place? Nope. The game will not allow that. Too far from previous place. That one too. Like, are all the secondary barbettes too far from the previous place? That one can be placed there. If I move it a little bit further forwards, like, will it still be too far from the previous place? I wonder. Yeah. Yeah, nope. So we're just gonna have to have 3 main gun turrets instead of the 4 I wanted. But at least it is possible to go with triples or twins. That looks better too. It just looks more right for the kind of ship it is. Even though 14.7 inch is a strange caliber. Balanced is fine. 15, sure, that's fine too. Modern 2 is what I want to have. I want to have triple bottom. Let's go standard ratio on the main gun shells. Ammunition is what I like to have. I want to have increased ammunition. Let's see, what is my my flash fire chance? 0. Still 0 with heavy shells. And only barbette 3. With super heavy, I get 1% flash fire chance. That is low. And I can bring that all the way down to 0 with barbette 5. I mean, that's pretty excellent. Let's see now about the armor of this ship. Everything else is like pretty nice, pretty decent. Let's go 5 on the main deck. I want to have more extended belts. I can have less superstructure. Good enough. Let's see. Let's go 3 on the third inner belt. And that is good enough. The turrets, though, I want to beef them up a little bit with some proper armor. 48 calibers? No. Let's make them 50s. That is their base length. That's good enough. Now that doesn't leave me with a lot of weight for secondary guns. But I might be able to fit some. Not the 6-inch guns, no, but the 5-inch guns. Yes. Okay, so what we're gonna have to do is turn them. Everyone can now, let's see. Yeah. They got arcs of fire. We're gonna have to turn these too. There we go. Secondaries are in place. Good old 538s. Still not very long though. So I'm just going to keep them as 538s. And I can... Yes. No, they don't fit. They don't fit these tiny tubs. Darn it. At least the quad 2s do. It's kind of the wrong model though, but these are in the way. Kind of the wrong model, but they work. Alright. I'm gonna have to find some free displacement. Where will I find that displacement? Maybe by well, deck hits don't seem to be a thing, so we can do that. Yes, that is good enough. So that is a one-off ship. Only got one of these. I could have reduced the range, actually, just to find that extra displacement. That would have worked just fine. Sadly, I only have these small funnels here available on this hull. I would have liked engine efficiency to be a little bit higher, but it's good enough. The Refit Oklahoma class. Now let's see what we can do about those heavy cruisers, which I got 5 of. Alright, let's see what we can do about this. Displacement is not maxed out. I don't really like that too much. The speed is good. I'm gonna try to keep that. I'm gonna try to keep that if I can. Torpedoes. I've got to go. That's all of them. Uh, 5.8, 5.8. Let's see, we got the modern tower 1. Again, they picked the one with the tiniest built-in barbette. I cannot really fit in that though, because the ship has been slimmed up too much. I imagine if this had been maxed out, that would have been so nice. Let's go with the second best. Main guns. I am going for twins. Not a lot of funnel options here either. Secondary tower 2, yeah, that's fine. Let's remove the random secondaries here also. Can I yes, I can do that. This time I was permitted to place down an extra turret. I like that. Nice. Alright, so then coincidence. I'm liking the caliber. I don't want to change that. Let's see, do I save some weight by going to auxiliary 4? 21372. Yes. This time that is the case. Might have to reduce some of that ludicrous speed after I fattened up the hull shape. Let's see, flash fire challenge is 0. There we go, even better range now that I increased or improved the powder. I'm gonna have to thin up the deck a bit. I'm gonna have to forego Citadel deck protection like completely. I think 2 inches on the inner belt is probably enough. I want some more 4.5 belts though. Let's completely thin out the deck. Do I have a 2-inch gun left somewhere? Yes, I do. Here. Away with you. Alright. Gear turbines. There we go. Saved a lot of weight by going with gas turbines instead. I'm gonna have to go with the third funnel though to make that kind of work. I'm gonna go back up to 36.9, which it had originally. I'm gonna try and keep that speed. That's like the best thing about this ship. I can slim down the barbette protection, still at 0. Still at 0 with barbette 1. Still at 0 with no barbette protection. That's what you get with tube powder and all of those repeatable technologies. I think though I will then go with heavy shells. Wow, I can still... It's still 0. There we go. 0.6. But with barbette 1, it's enough to make that flash fire chance 0. That's pretty good. I'm kind of liking this, and I get 5 of these. That is poggers, as they say. Oh yeah. And I have to play around with the angles here. Again. I mean, they still have arcs of fire, so that works. And then the same on this side. Right. And now again, overweight. Of course. Let's see. Yeah, because these do weigh a bit. The 538s. It's only 11 kilometer range though. On these. I get the same kind of range out of a 3-inch gun? 11.2, 11.1. Okay. We're gonna save weight by not having 5-inch guns on this. And instead going full bore with the... let's make them 3.9s. Someone suggested this on a previous video. .78 caliber, 3.9s, 15 kilometer range. That is that's gonna burn some transports. and destroyers. Reload time is 11.2 seconds. Okay, so reload time is not as good as on a twin 5-inch gun, that is for sure, but yeah, it's about twice what it would be with a quad 5-inch gun, with a quad 3-inch gun, but reload time 8.7 seconds, 7.4. Can I get it down to 7 seconds? 6.7 seconds. Ah, come on. I didn't click you away. 8.6, 13.9 kilometer range. How about a 3.7? 7.5, 13.6 kilometer range. I guess that works. So I want to have like decent rate of fire. Okay, the 2-inch guns don't really okay, they do fit somewhere. But I don't want to have too many of the tiny secondaries, even though these two have some decent range. Yeah, that is let's see. Do I have the displacement to add some more armor to my main gun turrets? I sure do. They may not explode, but I like to keep them intact still. So that is that. The Refit Mekong class. It's a pretty decent heavy cruiser, I think. A little bit light on firepower compared to some of my own designs, and well, the resistance isn't quite. It's not bad, 95. That's enough to get a little bit of gun damage reduction at least. So yeah, we're gonna save that. A billion price tag, but it's not too bad because I don't have to buy them. And lastly, and leastly, we got the Kennison class destroyer, or I guess it's kind of a gunboat thing. Very good resistance. So yeah, I think this is the U.S. equivalent to my K-55 Corvettes. Right. Okay. Spacious quarters don't need that. Let's set beam and draft to 0. One 1.3-inch guns. Modern Tower 1. That is good. That's fine. That is actually pretty good for one of these gunboats. How about funnels? Can I get anything better than mercantile funnel? 4%. That is actually the best I can get, which is not great. Also, it looks kind of dumb. But I think I will do what the Americans originally did here, and have the funnels down there. I'm only gonna have 2 of them though. And torpedoes, I will I'll keep one quintuple here. I'm gonna make it a 24-inch oxygen. That's fine. It does fit. Crazy enough, but it does fit. Secondary tower is needed. Storage block. This doesn't have a funnel fitting, does it? No? It's just big and doesn't do anything. It's just like almost no stats at all. That's fine. Ooh, that is. Ooh, wow. We get better spotting range with the secondary tower than with the main tower. Interesting. Okay, let's move these funnels back up here. It's gonna look a little bit weird, but like so. Is that really the biggest main tower I can get? Because yeah, it is. Just a little bit weird that the funnels are taller than it, but there we go. That's how it is. So we get some room for some guns here up front. What kind of main guns can we put on it? Only 4-inch. That is fine. You can at least have multiples of them. You can make them 4.5s. I want to make them 4.5s. Can I put that there and then one? No. I can go with this one then. That's too big. That's definitely too big. Come on. There we go. I guess that's what we're going with. I guess that works too. Can I put a barbette back here? Yes, I can. I guess that just does not work, but if I go with one that is one size smaller, that just doesn't work. Curse these chunky funnels that I need 2 of. If I go back to the big secondary tower, it just fit nicer, and then go with the square barbette. Does that block the torpedo? No, it doesn't. Still doesn't fit the gun though. Torpedo works. I was able to fit that barbette just a further bit out. Come on. Ah, it's so close. It's so close. I guess the dream of having a gun there just will not be, unless I would like it to have, like, be able to super fire over the It doesn't even fit here. Over the torpedo tube. But that just will not be. Anyway, we can fit some 2-inch guns. Maybe. We can fit some here. And that's about it. No, couldn't even do that. There they fit. Okay. Okay. So we got something. And the ship is not overweight. The ship is very slow. And the range is not that good. But electro-hydro steering. I think electric 1 is lighter. Yeah, it is. Can I make it slightly faster? Can I make it a tiny bit faster? Almost! 28 knots would be nice. That means if it does get in a battle with a capital ship with a top speed of 28 knots, it can at least keep pace. Let's go like that, I think. And there we go. Nice. Not bad. Well, not great, but for okay, I increased the price tag a little bit, but the maintenance bill is still very small. And I'd be able to outgun something, I guess. Main selling point, the resistance of 133. Minus 59% gun damage is not bad for a tiny ship like this. And now let's just apply the refits. I got enough tonnage. Lexington. And the, was it 5 of them? 4. Now it says I have 5. I guess 1 is being repaired, maybe. We're still in commissioning. Yeah, commissioning. Alright. So it can get that refit next month. And I guess that's the case with these destroyers as well. One being commissioned. Yeah. All right. And I even have 200,000 tons of free capacity. So we're gonna unsuspend something. Resume leaves me with some 90,000 tons. And resume that one as well. Nice. Perfect. Okay, and that's it for this episode. I guess Britain still wants to fight. Well, they have no choice because I'm naval invading them, so they cannot surrender at this time. But they do have some ships that need to be dealt with. Suddenly, they've launched some capital ships. I don't know how. They don't have any shipyards, at least not in Britain, but they Apparently Valletta is big enough to build a couple of battle cruisers. And I guess they've got some coming in from who knows which tiny port in somewhere. No doubt we're gonna run into some of those. And let's see, China is friendly. Spain is kind of friendly. And this whole war started with me trying to fight Spain, actually, but that just didn't happen. Yeah, even Germany is friendly. They're the last AI nation with any like decent navy left, because they didn't get involved. They sat this one out. They didn't want any of that. And that's it for now. Goodbye, and take care.